Hello and welcome back to Linus Nunchaku, where today there is a new box in front of me, which means that we're doing a new unboxing. Apparently, what SamuraiSchwert.Kaufen has sent me today is a very cool performance, extremely sharp umbrella. I mean katana, not umbrella. Katana, there we go. That's the right word. So let's get right into unboxing this. Also, because last time it was a bit difficult to see what I was actually doing, I've brought along a second camera to help you guys see a little bit better. So let's get started. Just opening it up. Seeing what's in there. And I've opened it up upside down. So let's flip it over. And there we go. That's the packaging. I do really like this actually. I'm quite surprised. I've not had a sword by Toshiro before. But this is, I actually prefer this to the Dash Shogun packaging because this looks pretty sweet. These are definitely my color and pattern schemes that I like to see. And this looks awesome. Let's pop this up. And here we go. This is the main event. Packaging was good. I mean, this box is pretty sturdy. And this box is also in the other box, so it's pretty good. Unless your postman likes to drop kick your swords, you'll probably be fine. So this is interesting. In this sword, you get some sword oil and a cloth to help keep your sword from rusting, which is very important, especially for a spring steel sword. So let me just flip this so you guys can see it a little bit. The sword itself is in this smaller box and has these little pieces of styrofoam keeping it in place. It also has styrofoam at the ends, so you don't have to worry about it poking through the end of the box or something like that. It should be pretty fine. So now what we can do is lift this sword out of the box. There we go, getting rid of these little things. They're like tiny little gates, you can like stack them. It's a free gift if you want that, so pretty cool. And now what we'll do is we'll toss, oh wait, nope, there's a guide in here. We'll take the guide with us, read through that. And there's also a label. I think you can display your sword with this label. It has all the different facts on it, so you can use that. We'll put that in front of our tower right here, and we'll throw this box to the side. It's getting pretty crowded over there, a lot of boxes. And now we have the actual sword in front of us. To help you guys see the sword better, I will have to move this nice creation that I've made. I know it's pretty sad, but actually we'll have it live over here. Wait, it fell. We'll have it live right here where you guys can still see it. There we go. Move back a little bit. Good, so we can throw the knife aside. We don't need that anymore. This is also cool. It also says Toshiro Swords on the actual cloth bag, which I think is really nice. That wasn't, the other sword didn't have that, so I like that. I like touches like that where they make the sword a little more presentable with the actual just carrying bag. So let's undo this cloth right here and get ready for the actual reveal. So let's see. Nice bag actually. It's pretty nice. I mean, for an included bag, that's quite good. And here we go. Here you can see the grip. Nice blue and black combo. I really like that. That looks sick. Obviously the metal end cap, which is more of a clean, classic style look, which is cool. I like it. I'm not much into the fancy. I'm more of a practical kind of person, so I do like the practical katanas where you can actually use them and they look more of a usable style. Here we go. So this is the sword. I like this finish right off the bat. Like it is, I like this matte with this, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has this nice, almost like paint splatter effect. I like that. That's cool. That looks really nice, especially with the blue and blue. Great colors, obviously, if you can see. Definitely appreciated. It does have a pretty modern look to it. It's more of a, compared to this one, it's more of a performance-oriented sword and more of a modern style. And I do like that modern appearance. It gives it a nice touch. So let's open her up. This is a spring steel blade, which means that it is incredibly sharp. Spring steel is one of the sharpest steels that you can make swords out of, and it is amazing what these swords can do. It obviously doesn't have any clay tampering or hardening on it like the other sword does, but the spring steel does have just a plain finish, but I really like just how usable it is. It is also a bit lighter than the other sword, while still being fairly heavy, but it does have, in my opinion, a great weight to it if you want to use it. The saya is once again out of solid wood, which is obviously cool and quite traditional. And I have to say, this feels great. I can't wait to give it a shot at actually cutting some stuff, because this is definitely the sword that you want to do that with. Looking at some of the other stuff, there's this nice little place card here that you can use in order to display your swords. Put that there, put this here, put the tower of styrofoam on the side there, and you see you have a nice little setup going on. You have the cloth to clean it with, and you also have the guide. I'm quite interested to see what they put in here. This is cool. So in this guide, it's actually describing several components of the sword, the history of swords, and basically just giving you a general rundown of what this even is and the history behind it, which I think is really cool. It also teaches you how to maintain the blade and how to oil the blade properly in order to help the longevity of the sword and keep it free from rust. So obviously I will be putting this sword through its paces in a different video, but just for fun, I've got a little note card here of paper and just wanted to see how this does. And that's a very clean cut. That's impressive. This is more of a thicker paper, so it's a little bit more difficult to get through than just a thin piece of paper, but the cuts are extremely clean, and that is quite impressive. Now onto the Linus Katana score. Starting it off with sharpness. This sword is extremely sharp, giving it an 8 out of 10. Next up is performance. This sword has awesome performance. It has a great weight to it, giving it a 7 out of 10. Next up, quality. This sword has a great quality, especially at this price point, being just under 300 euros, giving it a 6 out of 10. Next up, practicality. Its weight definitely helps it out here, giving it a 7 out of 10. This gives it a total usability score of 28 out of 40, which is a great score. Next up, appearance. I like the blue with blue, as well as this matte / paint drop finish, giving it a 6 out of 10. Next up, appeal. This isn't a very rare sword, it's more of a mid-range sword, giving it a 6 out of 10. For accessories, this has some nice stuff that comes with it, also giving it a 6 out of 10. And then finally, value. This sword, I think, is an awesome value, because if you want something extremely sharp that you can use to train, to cut things with, and etc., then this is an awesome option at this price point, giving it a 8 out of 10. This gives it a total display score of 26 out of 40. Add it up, and the final Linus score is a 54 out of 80, which is the new leader. Obviously, there's only 2 options on that list, but just ignore that fact and consider it the new best sword that I've ever reviewed. So I hope that you found this unboxing cool. Be sure to stay tuned to see me put this really sharp sword to use in cutting some awesome things in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the Nunchaku tutorials that I have on my channel, as well as the other katana videos. Don't forget to check out SamuraiSchwert.Kaufen for their massive selection of cool swords like these, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff, with the link in the description below.